version. The main podcast will start in just a couple minutes.
You have mail. Remember when that show came out, Got Mail?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, neither do I.
Shit.
Thought that it should have been a movie, but it wasn't.
I think you're thinking Sleepless in Seattle.
No, I think there was a movie Got Mail.
You've got mail?
Yeah, it was.
Was it with Meg Ryan?
It was the same thing. It was like Sleepless in Seattle. It was the same thing, same exact thing.
Okay.
Did they actually exchange emails in Sleepless in Seattle?
I don't remember.
Like the only thing I remember from Sleepless in Seattle is I'll have what she's having.
Wasn't that Harry Met Sally?
Yeah, with Harry Met Sally.
Oh, which is that the same thing as Sleepless in Seattle?
It was
might
pretty
have both
close.
They might have both been directed by Carl Reiner or Rob Reiner.
Which one?
Sleepless in Seattle.
Colorado.
Rob Reiner.
All right, how's that look? Is that YouTube Live?
Let me check.
Facebook one? YouTube?
Facebook?
Which should I check?
Well, check Facebook.
There it is. Phone numbers is live now.
A little bit of technical difficulties, Moon Clubbers.
On 420, we're all high as fuck. I mean, JK. Oh,
MJHJSJ, they got something to say. Moon Club members meeting every Tuesday. They talk about everything under the moon. Nothing is too taboo. MJHJSJ, they got something to say. Moon Club members meeting every Tuesday. They use their voices, they spread the words. Nothing is too absurd. They love to learn, they love to laugh, playing all of their memories back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. MJHJSJ. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Who's on there? Is that you? My bad.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from MJ's Walker Dreams apartment and worldwide on YouTube and Facebook Live, this is the Moon Club Podcast with AJ, MJ, and SJ. The Moon Club will talk about anything under the moon, no subject will ever be taboo. This episode of the Moon Club Podcast is brought to you by Realtor MJ Adelman, Bloomington Normal's premier realtor for the Jewett Home Selling Team at REMAX Rising, and I want to be your realtor, and I'll out-hustle everybody all day, every day, and then double up on Sunday to prove it.
Yeah, brother.
What's the state of the moon?
That's how you cut a promo. You ever heard the story of Muhammad? He flew a winged horse up into the sky and took his sword and sliced the moon directly in half. And that is what
That's mostly bullshit.
No, I think it's true. That's what we've got tonight. It is currently Tuesday, April 20th, 2021 at 6:04 p.m. The moon comes up at 12:13 p.m. tonight, and it goes down at 3:24 a.m. tomorrow. It is currently, like I said, 50% illuminated. It's in its first quarter. It is 390,536 kilometers away from us. It's 7 days old, and it's moving from Cancer to Libra, Leo tonight.
So if the moon is 50% illuminated, that leads me to ask the question, how illuminated is Steve?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, I partook in a little bit of herb on 420 for everybody. You know, I had enough for everybody, and that was face mints by Cresco. So get out there to the dispensary and get you some.
And that's
How you cut a promo.
This is Franken and Frankenson, also known as the Frank Short theme song. Rest in peace, Frank Short.
R.I.P.
Christopher Kemmons, Elena Areola, Roy Rambo.
What's up, Elena?
250 people on YouTube, which is a little low for us, but
7,000 people in
I haven't checked
Taiwan.
YouTube. I'm just watching. I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
I will capture that one tonight. I'll shepherd that one. Roy Rambo says, "Good evening, gents." Did you already say that?
I did not. Good evening, Roy Rambo. I still have your Mooney downstairs, by the way. It has not been forgotten about.
Doesn't smell like shit.
Yeah,
Does not.
doesn't smell like shit at all.
No.
Doesn't smell like from under. I didn't have it under my ball sack or up my ass at all. I don't know why you would even think that. It's so strange that you would bring that up.
No, it just sits on a shelf.
Yeah,
And a high shelf, not a low shelf. that you
it's
can
not like
sit
an elf on a shelf.
No.
Just shitting on it's just sitting on a shelf, not smelling shitty at all. All right, so breaking news, and I think we were all kind of a little worried about this. The verdict in the Derek Chauvin murder trial.
Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court file number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, juror foreperson, juror number 19.
He looks a little nervous now.
Same caption, verdict count 2.
How long will he last in
We, the
prison?
jury, in the above entitled matter
5
as to
minutes.
Count
They
2.
won't put him in general
Third-degree
population.
murder perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by jury foreperson, juror number 19. Same caption, verdict count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict
They get him on
agreed to
everything?
this
They get him on
20th day of
first
April
two, you know?
2021 at 1:45
Sounds like it.
p.m. Jury
That was second.
foreperson,
There's only one more left, right?
019.
All right, so Derek Chauvin guilty of murder, and you know, I would say fuck you and die, but I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna kill him. But as long as he spends the rest of his life in prison, I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I noticed, especially in the year of the masks, is that he really didn't seem too damn remorseful. Maybe he's trying to make his own peace with it.
Yeah.
I mean, dang, hearing them guilty pleas come down, I would have hung your head, a tear would have.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, it would be impossible to try to put yourself in that situation. But can you see it going any other way? Like,
No, you knew what was happening.
yeah.
No, if we thought they were mad about Rodney King,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Too soon, Austin, too soon.
No, I'm saying
Rodney
Rodney
just
King was a
teasing.
that was a different circumstance.
this
though.
guy was outright lynched in 2020 on the streets.
I think lynching implies hanging, but yeah, he was murdered. He was
Yeah.
murdered in cold blood like a fucking animal.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking brutal. And message sent, message received.
Yeah.
Let's stop that shit.
Exactly. There's too much of that going on in all walks of life. I mean, in all cases. You know, I've seen police tase 80-year-old women.
Yeah,
It's just unnecessary.
100%. Like there has to be a risk assessment. Like and I get it. Being a police officer is a thankless job for
And
sure,
dangerous.
100%. But if you're tasering 80-year-old women, if you're putting your knee on the neck of a black man for 9 minutes after he
Or
has stopped
any man,
resisting,
yeah.
or any man, yeah. But yeah, shit's got to stop, man.
In my defense, she looked 70, and this guy was on PCP.
All right, so we've got the Lyrid meteor shower rolling through, and since this is a celestial event, I think it is necessary that the Moon Club podcast covers this, right?
Is that how you
In
pronounce
winter,
that?
we go
Lyrid?
through a meteor shower drought. So now that we're entering into spring, we're in mid-April, we finally have a meteor shower to look forward to again, which will peak this week. So if you want to head outside, you'll have a chance of seeing some Lyrid meteors. The peak is going to occur early Thursday morning. The best time to look will be after the moon set and before dawn. So early Thursday morning, the moon sets right around 4:50, and once the moon is gone, we'll have less light pollution to deal with. Now this meteor shower will be active until about April 25th, and at the peak, we're expecting to see about 10 to 15 meteors per hour. So it's not the most overwhelming meteor shower, but again, we've been in a meteor shower drought, so this is something to look forward to. The radiant point for the shower is the constellation Lyra the Harp, but you don't need to look at a specific point to see the meteors. Just make sure you're looking up and away from any city lights. Now the moon is heading toward a full moon next week, but last week we had the waxing crescent moon, and Jessica sent us this beautiful picture.
All right. So, Lyrid meteor shower's coming up. I guess the best time to view it is going to be early Thursday. Christopher Kimmons says, Happy 420, gelato here. High as giraffe nuts.
There you go. High as giraffe nuts. Let's hope that's a full-grown giraffe and not no baby giraffe.
Yeah.
And I think the other was a reference to the devil's lettuce.
No matter what, though, giraffe nuts aren't as high as giraffe
Noses?
noses. Yeah, chins. Like, why
Ears.
giraffe nuts?
Right?
I mean, they may be high, but they still dangle down.
We are talking about Chris Clemens.
Right.
Enough said.
Kimmons.
Right.
Kimmons.
Kimmons.
Yeah.
And you know what? You can actually stand
Kimmons.
directly below a giraffe when
Kimmons.
you're sucking it off and
Yeah.
you're cupping the ball. So the giraffe nuts were about,
You can
Hold on.
teabag giraffe nuts just like that. They're perfect.
yeah, they're
size.
about this high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris Kimmons, if people don't know, that is Chris Crutchley,
Formerly Chris Crutchley.
formerly Chris Crutchley, but he married another man and took on his name,
Yeah.
so he now goes by Chris Kimmons.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Craig Murray is watching.
Nothing wrong with that.
Craig
What up,
T.
Craig?
Murray-
Yeah, he actually stood up in Chris's wedding.
Yeah.
I think he gave the groom away.
Craig was there to say, there's nothing wrong with this. That's all he kept saying. There's nothing wrong with
Oh,
it.
we're
Not that
kidding.
there's anything wrong
We're
with this.
fucking with Chris, of course.
Of course we are. We
Okay.
love you, Chris.
No, he's
Ooh.
calling Steve. What's
All
up?
right,
What are you
Chris.
doing?
That was a live version there.
Chris Kimmons says, Austin will show you how he does it. Oh, sick burn.
Snap!
Sick burn.
Sick burn.
All right, so this is a fight. I think it's an old fight, but Steve found this, and it's a pretty brutal
Can
knockout.
you turn the lights off?
Yeah, sure.
Turn the lights off.
Oh, you
flying
said it.
knee. Don't blink, you might miss it.
No touch of the gloves here. Front kick to start things for David Jackson. Huge
Face down, ass up.
flying knee. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
pretty sure that's a sex position.
With a flying knee knocks out David Jackson and makes a statement in Professional Fighters League debut. Oh my goodness, David Jackson. Huge knee.
He gave that guy's entire family a migraine.
That's how people end up retarded.
Yeah.
You know, I'm pretty sure that guy limped out of there. You know, he stumbled home, and he has no recollection of what happened.
And he's
Like,
not allowed to use a fork ever again.
That's paramount to getting hit in the face with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
It's about as close as you can get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, that's one of the better flying knees that I have seen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the one from that knocked out Ben Askren by
I can think of it.
Anyway, that one, that 5-second knockout, fastest George Masvidal, the fastest in UFC history. Obviously, that sticks in people's minds because it was so quick and so brutal. But you know, as far as like taking a knee, they're both. I don't know which one I'd rather take.
Yeah.
I would say neither.
Right? You
Yeah.
don't want to take a knee to the face.
No.
Boobs
No.
to the face, that's okay.
Boobs to the face all day long.
A lot less dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, you can poke your eye out.
That's true.
Craig Murray says, "Sup, yo."
Sup, Craig?
What's up, Craig T?
Sup, Craig?
Craig T, Money Murray in the hizzle.
All right,
Craig.
so this past
Top
week,
flight security, Craig.
not this week, but last week, the talk returned, and this is Cheryl Underwood leading off with the talk. And the funny thing is she's still trying to say, yeah, we're going to have like hard hitting conversation here. That,
Open
you know, like,
discussions.
yeah, open discussions. And, but, you know, but they don't say that they kicked Sharon Osbourne off for saying nothing. She said no,
Right.
absolutely less than nothing.
Right.
So they're trying to be like the Moon Club because nothing's too taboo for us, right?
Yeah, yeah. But you know what?
Well,
Nobody's
it's-
getting kicked out of here for saying shit.
Even if you're talking shit about Meghan Markle, fuck her.
Yeah. All right. So here, this
Fuck
was
her right in the pussy.
like the opening monologue. This is pre-show.
It's
Yeah,
Monday,
pumped
April
up.
12th, and it's time for an episode of The Talk that will be unlike any other we've had before.
Mm.
We haven't been together at the studio since the week of March 10th, and as you may know, during our break, Sharon decided to leave The Talk. We need to process the events of that day and what happened since, so we can get to the hill. Over the next hour, we
Sorry,
will
I threw up on my
honestly
mouth a little bit.
discuss
Yeah,
what
right.
occurred and
She's
explore
like,
some
I
of our
kind of hear
feelings.
her saying, I got
We'll
that fucking
also
bitch
show
Sharon
you
out of here.
how anyone can become more comfortable discussing important issues and having difficult conversations. And by the end of the hour, we want everyone to feel empowered and ready to move forward. So, let's start talking.
Or let's
Talkie,
stop talking.
talkie.
How about that?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
let's censor talking.
Just as long as your opinion is aligned with theirs, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
So I got
care.
Sharon Osbourne goes on Bill Maher, and I go to Bill Maher quite a lot because as much as I probably don't agree with his political philosophy as much, at least he's intellectually honest. Like he'll call out both sides,
Yeah.
and he doesn't really waver. Like well, his opinions are his opinions, and he sticks to them, and he has ideas to back them up.
Right.
And you know, if we have to agree to disagree, then that's fine. But
Like Dennis Miller.
yeah, Dennis Miller,
Yeah.
same thing. All right, so
You
here
know,
is
perception is reality, so his perception is his own reality.
But as long as they're backed
You
up
know? As long
with
as you
solid,
believe it.
with a solid base.
I would say though, Bill Maher, even if I don't agree with him, I respect him because he calls it across the board. And
He's pretty intelligent, you know.
And what I like to just put out there that he should always have a theme song that goes Bill Mau 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 Bill Mau 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 Bill and Mau 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 Bill and Mau Mau.
I'm not joining.
Why not? But you would join if it was. Willie
Bill
Mau
Maher,
Mau.
Maher.
Now that was actually in honor of a dishwasher that MJ and I used to work with. You even at Piccolo Piccolo.
Alfredo?
No, Willie Mau.
Willie Mau.
Because every time I see Willie Mau, I'd be like Willie Mau Mau, and he would just start
Mau,
dancing.
Mau.
The guy was so happy. Hairiest ears in the world, but very happy.
Yeah, hairy guy. His middle name was Motherfucking.
I think Austin's going to break that Harrius ear record though. Aren't you trying to throw that down?
No, dude, I shave when I'm in the shower. I shave my ears because when you're in a car,
Dang,
you're,
hey, you know.
How is your hair black and your beard's white though?
my hair's not black. I just put lotion in my hair. It looks darker.
Bullshit.
Lotion.
Dude, you know the beak on a dog goes white first. What do you think's happening here?
He is
You don't think I know?
It's lighter.
You know, one thing that we haven't addressed, that we're putting this off and we're kind of going off tangent, is we all, over this past COVID era, have turned 50 and even 51. And so, man, a lot of things are going on. Body, hair changing, body settling in, you know, getting a little sore, a little stiffer, getting a little harder to...
You been getting stiffies too?
And you said stiff and hard in the same sentence.
I tried. Drink, lunatics.
Yeah,
Right?
because I might be getting older, but I'm getting stiffer and harder too.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so here is
If not, let's bury us, right?
here is Sharon Osbourne on Bill Maher talking about what happened, and I just think this is right on.
First up,
One
Sharon's a
minute.
TV personality who, after 11 seasons, is the last of the original co-host to leave The Talk. Please welcome Sharon Osbourne, who's over here. Oh, see? They still love you. Hello. Hello.
How are you?
Good. Well, that's... Look at that. That's nice.
That's
Hey,
great.
aren't you glad you came? Yeah, just to hear that. I know. Well,
Is she wearing a
obviously you're here
lanyard?
to talk about Brexit. Now,
Uh-huh.
do you believe if we... No. So I've been hearing about how all the people around your little scandal have been doing. How are you, is what I wanted to ask first of all.
It's so many different things. I'm angry, I'm hurt.
But you always were a strong one.
Oh, I'm a
That's-
fighter.
Oh, we know that.
So many
So
things.
I'm
that's
like-
the name, too.
Almost fights it.
Well, let's do a quick
That
recap
Sharon just said
of the
that
tragic
Sharon
events.
stepped
this
down.
weekend.
That's not how it went down. Apparently.
So on your ironically titled show, The Talk,
Yes.
you were talking, and and if there's one lesson from this is that's not allowed anymore. So I just want to say my view is nothing happened on the talk. We'll get to other stuff, but on your show, I don't think anything happened because what happened was a few weeks before, maybe the week before, I don't know. I remember I watched it. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry gave their interview with Oprah. Okay,
Yes.
then your friend Piers Morgan, he's a commentator in Britain.
Yes.
He said he didn't believe things that Meghan Markle said.
Right.
And then on your show, you said, well, he's a good friend of mine, and I don't necessarily agree with his opinion, but he is entitled to his opinion.
Exactly.
So
That's about what
he
happened.
was called a
Yeah.
racist and lost his job, and you were called a racist and lost your job. Do I have it right?
You got it right. That's exactly how it went.
Right. Who's the racist and why? This is what I'm trying to figure out. Have you?
Me too.
Okay.
Me too. I've been called so many things in my life. I am so used to being called names, but a racist is one I will not take.
Yeah, it's an insult if you're not one.
All right, so I like that because that's about how we broke it down too. It's like it wasn't really that she said anything racist. She just kind of said, you know,
Yeah.
She had a difference of opinion.
I think she said Pierce Morgan is a friend of mine. That was the
Yeah.
death blow.
and I might not agree with his opinion,
Yeah.
but he does have the right to disagree with Meghan Markle. And then the other lady, whatever her name was like, well, it's not that it's racist, but it appears racist because you're disagreeing with a black woman. That was her defense.
Who a lot of people are saying, wait, she's black?
Exactly.
Well, I think we could tell by the intro, that she was African American. But take race off the table.
No, I was
Forgive-
talking about Meghan. I was talking about Meghan Markle, not
Oh. Yeah, I mean, throw a stone in the ocean, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as like, we went through this as hundreds or thousands of years that the human race has been on Earth. It's integrated. Neanderthals,
I'd say millions of years.
The common thing is 60,000 is what scientists think, but yeah, I believe millions of years as well. And I believe that this Earth has went through a few cycles of this too
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I think in this form, Homo sapien, Homo erectus, I think we've been around
Erectus.
about
Drink.
300,000 years.
Or maybe millions.
But
But Homo sapiens might be all throughout the Milky Way. You never know.
maybe the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Really?
He was talking about the candy bar.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. But no, I think in our body's form, probably about what 300,000 years. Isn't that about
I don't know if you believe that the Anunnaki came down and mixed their genes with with monkeys or whatever. I mean, then around 600,000 might be about right. But
There was definitely a huge growing in the brain somewhere between 500,000 and 400,000 years ago, right? And a lot of people think that's when the apes come down out of the trees and started eating mushrooms off the ground, and
Tripping?
and that's what led to it. But that's the stoned ape theory. But anyway, I digress. We got a lot of other stuff going on this week. There was a boxing match. And I know people don't like to talk about this because they think Jake Paul's just a train wreck and a media whore and a flash in the pan and piece of shit. You can label the guy any way he wants, but I don't know. What he's doing seems to be working, and he boxed Ben Askren this weekend. By the way, Ben Askren's not a professional boxer. He's a professional fighter.
what was that
and with a
comedian
wrestling
that
background.
went around fighting women? Any woman that he wanted to fight, Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman,
Yeah, he would fight any woman that wanted to fight him anywhere.
Yeah. And that guy had mental issues, but
Well, he's kind of doing the same thing. It's like, I will fight you. You know?
I mean, he's picking professional fighters though.
Yeah.
He's not calling out
picking for
women.
professional fighters that maybe don't know how to box, but still. All right, this is 18 seconds.
Mixed martial artist has a record of 19 victories with only 2 defeats. From Heartland, Wisconsin, USA.
Oh wait, I completely forgot to set this up. This isn't the fight at all. This is Michael Buffer pronouncing his name wrong. You
What's
ready
his
for
name?
this?
What does he say?
So his name is Ben Askren. Funky Ben Askren.
Mixed martial artist has a record of 19 victories with only 2 defeats. From Heartland, Wisconsin, USA. Funky.
Hold on. We should probably have the light out for this. Austin, why don't you hit the light? We'll get as much out of this as we can.
Mixed martial artist has a record of 19 victories with only 2 defeats. From Heartland, Wisconsin, USA. Funky Ben Askew. And across the ring, his opponent.
All right, that might not have been real. I don't know.
What did he say? Ice cream?
Asked you, I think.
Ask you.
All right.
And ask you.
So now I've got the actual knockout, and I watched this. I watched the whole fight. It lasted, I think, about 2.5 minutes, something like that. But it was a mismatch from right away. Ben Askren doesn't know how to box. That's all there is to it.
Out there fighting like a 1940s fighter with that old ass style. He about to change that style. Look, that's that old ass.
Jake Paul being a lot more disciplined than I thought.
Yeah, that's the style the fighters used to use in the 1930s. He about to change that shit up.
Oh, there's a left hook on the top of the head by Paul.
Bang, shit, body shot to the rib. Bang, right to the motherfucking head.
Did you say motherfucking?
He's loading up the right hand. Yeah, that's on Triller. They can say whatever they want.
It's Snoop.
Jake Paul sparred with former world champion.
That was almost lights out right there.
That was the camera.
That's it.
There it is.
Same punch.
You can tell Snoop's getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Well, Snoop's still trying to say that he bet Dana White $2 million, but Dana White's not paying Snoop. He said he never made that bet. And I don't think he did. I mean,
I bet
Dana
he
White said he would bet $1 million on Ben Askren, but he never made the bet with Snoop. I don't think.
Yeah.
But whatever. I don't know.
I could see Dana White saying, okay, let's double up, and then sliding in like a counter or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, throwing in somebody who knows how to box.
Yeah, yeah. Or just
Nate
even a
Diaz?
good striker. Yeah.
I'd
With
watch
good
that.
chin.
I'd watch Nate Diaz box that motherfucker.
I would rather watch
Tyson?
the Diaz brothers go against the Paul brothers tag team style.
Oh yeah.
MMA.
Oh, that would be fun. That wouldn't last long though. It would have to be boxing because they wouldn't be able to.
Well, I actually think the Diaz brothers would make it last a little bit longer.
Oh, they would, yeah.
They're pretty sadistic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're badasses, both of them. You know?
Yeah.
They got a mean streak.
You got a mean streak 3 feet wide.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I would definitely pay money to see that.
Yeah. 100%.
There you go, Dana. I set it up for you.
The tag team. Let's make it a professional wrestling bout.
It could be.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more money that way, right?
I mean,
Professional wrestling?
if you're gonna hold a pay-per-view, we're talking to Vince McMahon right now. If you're gonna hold a pay-per-view, and your main event, I don't know, maybe even your co-main event is the Askren brothers, or not the Askren, is
The Paul brothers
the Paul
versus
brothers.
the Diaz brothers?
Yeah, it's getting my money.
Right?
I'm watching that shit.
Even, and let's be honest, now Vince McMahon, MJ is not a wrestling fan. He's
No.
not going to watch wrestling any other way. You put that on, you got him.
Yeah,
And
and
that's how
probably
you
many
do it.
more like me.
Yeah, and that's how you do it. You know that, Vince. That's how you make
Well,
money.
because I mean, fighting sports are becoming a spectacle anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no longer like back in the day. It used to be like, who's the baddest motherfucker on this night, right? It's not anymore. We've already divisioned it up into belts and divisions and all that shit, and then I would say the entertainment era of fighting sports started the first Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz fight. I would say that's when the entertainment era started. And by that I mean that belts don't really mean anything anymore. They do. I mean, yeah, you're the champion of a division, and that's respectable. But people are going to pay for fights that aren't necessarily for a belt, right? Because they want to see it, because it's exciting. So if you put the Paul brothers versus the Diaz brothers, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
He's all in.
I'm in.
Everybody want to watch that.
Yeah.
I agree. And again, I agree exactly what you say. There's a lot more entertainment in it. And so therefore, I mean, Conor McGregor, he's still selling out a ton of pay-per-views. He's still making a bunch of money. And what, he's lost 3 of his last 4 fights? I mean, but he's still a badass, you know. He's still that wild card. You put him in, you think he's going to win every time. If not, he's definitely going to talk a good game and get the interest out, you know.
The thing
Which is
about-
what the Paul brothers do.
Exactly. They do that. And so
Do
does
do.
Conor McGregor.
We lost
Say
our
what
face-
you want about Conor McGregor, he knows how to sell a fight.
He knows
I
how to
think we lost our
promote.
Facebook connection. We keep going now.
Yeah, it's gone.
Maybe it's something I said.
Nope, it's still on.
Oh, is it getting back on?
Of course it was something you said. Hello.
Was it something I did or something I said?
You had him there, hello.
Did my words not come out right?
Maybe it's on. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's on now. Live video has ended.
Guess what I've got for food tonight?
What's that?
2 Butch's white pizzas.
Which is whites.
Why do you gotta do white pizzas, man? I thought we were
As white as
past
right.
that.
Whoa.
Not in my town.
Not in my town.
I think they actually put that on the label though, so it's not anything. Is that on the label? Is that what it says? White pizza?
Yeah, it's a white garlic.
There you go.
It's a good pizza. You like them?
Yeah?
Probably one of my favorite frozen pizzas.
Dig the Pig out of Morton, Illinois.
Yeah.
You'll take that, you know.
Better than cash.
There you
All right,
go.
so this is something we were listening to before we came in. This is a trial where they're reading off the list of things that the defendant had done, and one of them was he had said that the girl was thick like a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah.
But it was an undercover cop, right?
The state had the defendant on tape selling marijuana to a female undercover police officer on several different occasions. He had no problem whatsoever hitting on the undercover officer on the audio tape, trying to pick her up and saying, "Girl, you're thinner than a bowl of oatmeal."
After 4
Okay, so from
That's-
what
that's
I get
kinda
out of
cute,
that,
right? Isn't that
what
kinda
I
cute?
get out of that, so he's undercover and she's undercover. So if he says, "Girl, you're thick as a bowl of oatmeal," that's kind of like keeping your cover, right?
That's kind of a
Like,
compliment.
damn
Yeah,
right,
it's
I said
not
that.
breaking character.
Well, no, because they were both undercover, right?
Yeah.
How
So,
was
yeah.
he undercover?
Because he was an undercover cop.
No.
She was.
He
Did I
was
hear
the
that?
one selling the marijuana.
Oh,
The lady was undercover cop who he was selling to.
But undercover, I guess, is just playing a role.
no, I think they said he was undercover as
Oh,
well.
okay. Maybe I.
Pretty
oh.
sure.
Deep
I missed
cover.
that.
Yeah,
Deep cover, like Lawrence Fishburne.
There you go.
Yeah.
that's a good movie.
That was a good movie. That was also in that soundtrack was our introduction to Snoop Dogg.
Was he in there?
He was
That's
in
what
the
he
deep
said
cover
before, yeah.
soundtrack.
And he actually, I think he asked Alexa and she proved it right.
What? All right. So this is Jake Paul. Dana White reacts to Jake Paul versus Ben Askren.
Remember Trespass? Remember that one?
Ben Askren. So as we know, Jake Paul just fought Ben Askren, and he knocked him out in the first round brutally. He fought him with Triller pay-per-view live. So Dana White actually bet like $2 million on Ben Askren. So has Dana White responded to Jake Paul? I mean, reacted to the fight? Well, he has seen the fight, but he hasn't directly responded to it. I'll keep you guys updated if he does. But here's an interview about him talking about the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight, and talking about betting on Ben Askren. So I'll play you the clip.
Fight is a wrestler, a real good wrestler, decorated wrestler, but he's
he's actually fought real guys. He's been a world champion in other organizations.
It's gonna be an interesting time. Yeah, but it's different though, Dana. When you standing up and you know, from wrestling and standing up and letting them hands fly. One thing I can't say about him, he got hands.
Okay, I'll bet $1 million.
Oh, here we
that
go.
he loses this fucking fight.
Dana White.
Bet $1 million that he loses this fight.
$1 million.
So I hope we can bet on this.
I love this guy, Paul. This guy, look, he got $1 million.
Dana White backed off of that really quick. He didn't bet.
I didn't see him shake anybody's hand or make a deal.
No.
I think he was just putting it out there.
Did
like,
Snoop
all
Dogg,
comments will
did he
fit.
tweet like, deal's been made or something?
No. He just said, I'll take that bet.
They're gonna regret it.
Joe Rogan was thinking Jake Paul was gonna win too, right?
I mean, if you just watch him throw hands, I mean, Ben Askren wasn't ready at all. Not even a little bit.
No, that 1-2 kind of looked like a dive to me, really, to be honest. I mean,
I would call it a dive because he took the punch. I mean, he took the full force of the punch.
well, I think that's part of the dive. You got to sell it, right?
I don't know. I mean, for me, the dive is like, you know, a phantom punch or something. Like, he got knocked out. Like,
I would let somebody give me a concussion for $1 million, or even for 100,000.
I think that's the way to go. You got to sell it, so you got to take the punch. You can't just be like,
oh yeah, I agree.
you know. So take the punch, and like I said with when we were watching Jake Paul training, I said he was throwing a little bit heavy for the sparring partner. So I think he's a heavy thrower anyhow. So even if you're going to be like, hey, let's set this up, we're going to fake this, going to take the punch, you know, he's going to throw heavy regardless. So bang, bang, he may have got a little bit heavier than what dude wanted to. He may have got a little bit too close because it was just standard 1-2, right? He was walking in, so I mean, it's real bang, bang, dude. At the end of the fight, you'd be like, hey, you hit me a little too hard.
He was setting up the overhand right with the jab. I mean, that's
just
your standard
boom,
1-2. Yeah, but
That's what he went there to do.
Yeah.
You know?
knock
like
the fuck out.
But like I said, and to Dana White's credit, like he said, this Askren, he's been in professional fights before. He knows to keep his hands up. He knows when they're coming. He knows what a setup punch is.
And that's why I wish they would have let it go. Like, obviously he was rocked, but I mean, okay, so Ben Askren's been rocked before. It's not his first time in the rodeos. Let's see if he's came to fight or not.
Right.
But then they waved it off. So, and I don't know. I didn't stand there. I'm not second guessing the judge.
Wasn't the ref, didn't he have him up on his feet and he was like lifting his gloves and looking into his eyes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, and that's another thing I said. Dude could just been like, hey, I'll take my check.
has a ref ever been charged with murder for not calling a fight soon enough? I mean, obviously we're charging policemen with murder, or referees, and
the difference is you're
Signing
refereeing two
disclaimers
men
and
who have
stuff.
agreed to enter a combat, right?
right. What if one just started they never stopped pounding his face?
Well, that's
eventually-
happened before. For
Yeah.
sure it has. Like, there's been
Fighters charged.
MMA fighters that have not let go of either a chokehold or an ankle lock. That,
Right.
rip somebody's knee apart, and you're like, well, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Because I've seen some fighters where the ref has got to like literally jump in between them.
Well, and that is the ref's job, because
Yeah.
it's not the fighter's job to stop; it's the referee's job to stop them, right?
And referee is a dangerous job.
It is.
Good segue.
What do you got for us?
Hit the lights.
All right, so this is a basketball tournament that happened in Indiana.
The Hoosier State.
Yeah.
Bunch of crazy.
Hey, Austin, are you taking Steve home?
Yeah.
Are you getting another whiskey in there?
No, no.
Okay. Like. So what I don't understand, okay, so this is the first half of a basketball game. Why are there so many people walking around with backpacks? Like, this is one parent that's coming in here and talking shit to this referee. Like, how are there so many random people out on the court?
Like you said, I think it's just a high school.
All right, so that guy was like, he was sitting there with his phone recording the ref, right? For whatever reason, I don't know.
Man, he was saying something to him.
saying something to him. So he's got his phone out. And what the ref does is inexcusable. He just smacked him. And it's like, now it's on. Now that little kid, whoever that little kid is a gangster, she's like, oh, look at it. She's like, oh, we're in this shit.
Dropped the backpack before the slap even got off.
Yeah.
Do you get a different referee at that point? You know,
Well, yeah, I don't think that
got
guy's
a
going
ref
back
the
on the
second
court.
half.
All right, now, so you got to watch this. Like, this referee right here in the center. And then this guy with the yellow shirt's walking up, and he's recording. And he must have said something to the referee, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Oh, sorry. He's got his camera out, and all of a sudden the referee is like, slap! And then it's on.
Slapping a grown man's like bringing a knife to a gunfight, though, right?
Yeah.
Don't slap me because
But
it's coming back
he
all
started
balled
it, didn't
up,
he?
you know.
Here's the thing. If that dude didn't only throw him to the ground, he flipped him over his body. Look at this. Bam!
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a full flip. Look at the kids. Look at that little 6-year-old kid like getting that some. Thugs, man.
Well, if you rewind, there was the backpack of the little kid right there. She dropped it and was ready.
And so, I'll break it down like this. Like, I don't know
Ishi.
if that kid is just a random ball player, then she's probably psychotic. But
It
if
looks
that
like the
if that was
loyalty of
if that
family.
was her dad, then she's fucking ride or die, right?
It looked like the loyalty of a family member to me.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And that is respectable.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I don't know
Without a
if
doubt.
my dad's right or wrong, but it's on, and we're throwing down until it's over.
Right, Alex and Cassie would throw down with you.
Damn
It'd
right.
be
they
like
would.
fucking soccer kicks and shit, gouging people's eyeballs,
Yeah,
fucking maybe a fish hook or two.
yeah. I mean, it's not just the talk. I mean, the talk is nothing because you can't even talk anymore. But
Right.
Gotta walk the
They'll,
walk.
they'll cut a bitch. For
Right.
Sure. You guys know about White Boy Summer?
Alex and Cassie, they still got
I
those
do
ride
not.
or die tattoos, or did they get those removed?
I swear to God, man, as soon as you get a man, these bitches want to.
This is a historic moment. It's White Boy Summer officially right now. This is the beginning. So I had to make it monumental. That's 90K cash, baby. We're doing a jet walk. All White Boy Summer. Link in bio right now. Let's get this shit. Go watch that shit right now. Link in bio. It's White Boy Summer, baby. Right now. Let's get it.
He's selling it, isn't he?
All right, so that's Chet Hanks. That's Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know. He seemed to sell it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is a rapper though too, right?
Where do you get $90,000 in ones?
Because he wanted to let everybody know it was White Boy Summer.
Dude, wouldn't that be cool if your dad was Tom Hanks? You call him, it's like, hey, you got 90 grand laying around? I'm gonna do a rap video. It's like, yeah, come on over and pick it up, son. It's like Tom Hanks is the nicest guy in Hollywood. Hollywood?
He's probably one of the richest, that's for certain.
Oh, let's play. How much is Tom Hanks worth?
So is that Rita Haywood and Tom Hanks' son?
Rita something, but not Haywood.
Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson,
Right. Rita Wilson, who, by the way, busted out the OPP rap flawlessly.
Yeah, I was
Right
pretty
after
impressed.
COVID.
Yeah, she's got great flow.
Maybe we should go out on that today.
Dude, I bet she is our age, in between all of our ages.
She's our senior for
Yeah.
sure. She's close to 60, I would think.
Oh no.
How old is Tom Hanks? He's 60.
Are we gonna play How Much Is Tom Hanks Worth?
Sounds good to me. It's your echo.
Echo. How old is Rita Wilson?
Rita Wilson is 64 years old.
Yeah.
Damn, Rita Wilson is 64 years
She
old.
retires next year.
I hope not. How old is Tom Hanks? Hey, Echo. Echo. How old is Tom Hanks?
You say the same.
67.
Tom Hanks is 64 years old.
Dang,
Born on July 9th,
Why is she whispering?
1946.
Echo. Volume 8.
10. Okay, so how much you think Tom Hanks is worth?
700 million.
Steve?
On 420, I'm gonna go 420 million.
Oh, that's solid.
I'm gonna go $1. Echo. How much is Tom Hanks worth?
Tom Hanks is worth an estimated $400 million US dollars, and he
Oh, no,
receives a
you went
salary
over.
of $31 million
Did you
US
say 400?
dollars.
You said 400. Yeah, 420.
I mean, but we don't play Price is Right rules.
I know, but I would have won if we were.
You would have, yeah.
So how much is Tom Hanks worth? 401.
Yeah, 401.
So he still got his food card in that game.
Yeah, he's barely getting by.
Maybe he hasn't invested his money as good as Dr. Dre, because I think Dre's worth like what?
Or
twice that?
maybe that's just the money that we know about.
Yes, Dre's had a lot of other side projects going
Beats,
on. though.
headphones, yeah.
He's got those muscle shirts he be selling.
You know what? I've said in
Dre
the
doesn't
past.
wear muscle shirts. I don't know if I told you.
I've said in the past, like maybe 10 or 20 years, that
I heard he's fell off though.
that NWA was as influential as the Beatles. Now, do you guys agree with that now, or would you say, well, that's a bit ridiculous?
I would say that's a bit ridiculous.
That NWA is much more influential than the Beatles?
That the Beatles are much
The Beatles are more influential.
哦
Godzilla.
Before we go out, we gotta show people what's going on outside. What's it, April 12th? With a fucking snowstorm.
How can you imagine we would do that?
Just take that.
Look at this is Godzilla.
Is that a Komodo? No, that's a that's a Komodo dragon. That's a Komodo dragon.
It's a monitor. That's what they call it.
It's in the monitor family. It looks like a Komodo dragon to me, though.
Komodo dragons actually big. And they're actually on the island.
Hey,
of Komodo.
thanks for watching.
I would grab that thing by the tail and spin it around.
You know what? You can't say that Komodo dragons are bigger than that, because at one time every Komodo dragon was that size if they're bigger, right?
No.
Yeah.
They get bigger though.
I'm kind of curious. Echo, what's the difference between a Komodo dragon and a monitor?
She's never gonna figure that out.
The Komodo dragon,
Oh.
also known as the Komodo monitor, is a member of the monitor lizard family Varanidae that is endemic to the Indonesian islands of Komodo,
So same,
Rinca,
same.
Flores, and Gili Motong. A computer monitor is an output device that displays information in pictorial form.
Echo, stop.
Which one is more dangerous, the Komodo monitor or the computer monitor?
Ooh.
Definitely the computer
Wow.
monitor.
Definitely.
Which
Here's
is
something I found on the web.
Echo, stop.
Tell your girl to shut up.
Which is mightier, the pen or the sword?
Put a leash on your dog, Austin.
Echo, you need to relax, okay, honey? If only if it was that easy, huh?
It should be.
Echo, can I take a doo-doo on your tum-tum, please?
She don't even want to respond to that. And drink lunatics.
I've got Maxine Waters calling for
Violence?
more confrontation.
Is this
I am very why people still listen to this woman?
That we're going to get a verdict that will say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away.
And not just manslaughter, right? I mean,
Oh, no, not manslaughter. No. This is guilty. Murder. I don't know whether it's in the first degree, but as far as I'm concerned, it's first degree.
Congressman, what happens if you're not going to
get what you just told? What should the people
She's got eye.
protesters on the street do?
I didn't hear you.
What happens?
They're protecting the fuck out of her, because she's like
We
70.
gotta stay on the street. And we've got to get more active. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
But she's a powerful woman. And I think
More confrontational, and that's worse than anything President Trump said when he was
Well,
president.
you
when
know what? I
when
don't know
called
about
for-
that.
Oh, it definitely is. He didn't say more confrontational.
He said that there's going to be, I think Giuliani said the worst when he said we're going to have a trial by war or trial by
combat.
Combat, yeah.
Yeah, but nobody ever calls her out on that.
But you know what? The Black Lives Matter movement, sometimes there's peace only to be found on the other side of action or violence.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we have to apply everything equally, right?
Right.
So if you're going to incite violence, then let's call it across the board.
Well, maybe she's just moving the Overton window. You know what? Thank God it didn't come to that. Thank God the guy was found guilty, but Remember how surprised and how fucking streets were looted when Rodney King's people were found innocent?
Rodney King's people?
The people that beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. What was that, like 92? 92?
Yeah.
Okay. That was one.
Remember Reginald Denny?
Yeah, he was a truck driver. He got pulled out of his truck and
By
like a cinder block or something.
Who was the guy that threw the block at his head?
I don't remember. I remember Reginald Denny, but I don't remember the.
Like Football Williams or something was his name.
Yeah, that was his God-given name.
That's what his name was. Yeah.
No shit.
That was his call sign.
Well, his alias, AKA, also known as.
I guess we're still not back on Facebook.
No. We went dark on Facebook.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It means we touched the man. You know
But in the meantime, in between time, we can still go live on YouTube Live.
There you go. You rhyme live with live. Very good.
Yeah, does that piss you off when rappers rhyme the same word, or do you think it's a skill that?
I think it's
should
taking the
be-
easy route. You know what I mean?
Yeah. One of my favorite double rhymes, and I think it's a great lyric, is "I Will Remember You" by Skid Row, and it's like I would something for just one kiss, and then I would do something else and something else for just one kiss. Do you know the lyrics I'm talking about? I'm like, he rhymes kiss twice there, but it works for some reason. Was that Sebastian Bach?
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit different than the way that
I don't know, for some reason that whenever I think about rhyming the same
is.
word,
I think
that's
it,
what.
but it's song lyrics as opposed to a rap. So song lyrics don't necessarily
Same thing,
have
Stephen.
to rhyme.
Did you turn on the oven or something?
Yeah,
Why would you do that?
because I'm gonna cook those white pizzas. But do you feel it or do you hear it?
I smell it.
Okay.
That's what she said.
All right, well, fuck it. If Facebook's off, then we'll just end YouTube and we'll just call this right now.
Are you sure about that? I thought
We
we
can-
were going out on Rita Wilson.
Okay.
Right, and we can still talk. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't turning into
Too bad we
YouTube
don't
right
have
now,
to.
but you know what? That might be where we get the surge in people, binge watching our videos.
Surgeon?
Yeah. So she's what, our senior?
4 years or 14 years.
No, she's not that much. Maybe 10.
She's 64.
64. Fuck.
You were right here when it
Man, I
happened.
hope to.
So
The
there's
rap
this
like
one. I think that's the original, but this one has more views.
Check it out. Looks like she.
It looks like they mixed
Is
it
that-
up a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
let's watch.
Oh, this is the
She might have been,
remix?
people might have been like,
Give it up for Rita Wilson!
Yeah, I think they did a remix.
Hit the light.
these guys were pioneers. We all agree with that, right? Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
You drew a picture on my morning, but you couldn't make my day. I'm knocking in your yard, but you never look my way. I'm looking down your darling in every single way. Your funny flow is foreign, and the green comes on my way. This ain't got shit to do with shampoo, but watch your head and
This
shoulder.
shows how talented she is.
I told ya, I made a fade of what I made and played it for some funky bits, so say your friends and take
You guys
it for
get
the
chills?
music and
Chet Hanks isn't even the best rapper in his immediate family.
Dude, what book did she hold up there? At the very end, she holds up a book, and I'm kind of curious if it was like Ender's Game or something.
Didn't say.
All right,
All
Live Hard or
Moon
Drive
Club
Back
Podcast number 241. We out.
On 420. Peace out.
You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious, because MJ has broken down a lot of, yeah.
Glass walls.
I wonder